Welcome to Magical Moves, the show about moving to Orlando and the Central Florida area. I'm your host, Jason Diffendahl. Here with me is my co-host, Eric Gross of MagicalMoves.com.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming again. You come every week.
Yep, here we are.
We have a special guest this week, Nana.
Yay.
Nana's here to talk about her hometown.
No, I mean, I don't know. It's a hometown now, but
It's
my
where you live.
Yeah, I mean, it's my hometown now.
So Nana lives in Oviedo.
Yep.
Oviedo.
Oviedo, not
That's
Oviedo. It's
Not
Oviedo.
Yep.
Oviedo.
Yep.
It's Oviedo.
A
Oviedo.
lot of people call it that too.
It's Oviedo. Oviedo.
So Oviedo is another one of those places that's a little further outside of town. It's also on the opposite side of Orlando from Disney World, so it makes it a bit of a hike to get down here. How long does it take you to get in here?
It's about like 45 minutes, right?
45 minutes.
Yeah.
Little shorter to the parks, or about the same?
About the same, I would say. But if there's no traffic, it's like 38 minutes.
38 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
30 minutes to Epcot. And yeah, the Animal Kingdom or Magic Kingdom is a little farther. So
a little further.
Yeah.
So today we're going to talk about Oviedo and what's attractive about living in Oviedo.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Because you can be Nana's neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
What you like about it, what you don't like about it, we want to know.
So we're gonna
let's
let's
share,
let's
right?
switch over to the map and let's orient our viewers to where Oviedo is. So there's Orlando, and Oviedo's up here in the northeast side of Orlando, a little bit up the 417,
A little north of UCF.
a little north of
yeah.
UCF.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's Oviedo. It's actually although it's kind of far away, you've got real easy access to 417.
Well, everything. I do have 417, 48, 528. I have so many options. So, if the I-4 on the way to, like, Disney is kind of, like, packed, I rather take 417 all the way to here.
To Epcot
to
Center.
Epcot or anywhere, or Celebration.
You do have some options over
so,
there.
like, if the 417, like, opposite, like, 417 is kind of, crowded traffic, then I'll take I-4.
Yep.
And deal with this, like, little craziness on the I-4. But still, there's, like, a lot of options. Like, I can go that way or that way or that way.
So it's a lot of flexibility. You're actually very close to the airport too, like 15
Airport
minutes.
is like 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, so that's great. And then we should probably mention the other really great thing about being in the northwest of Orlando, and that is that you're close to Daytona Beach.
Buc-ee's.
Buc-ee's.
And how often do you go to Buc-ee's?
Oh my goodness, Buc-ee's. I try to make it like at least every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks.
2-3 weeks, yeah, I'm over
So
there.
it certainly is helpful that you live northwest of Orlando because it
course.
shortens your Buc-ee's commute
Of
by a lot.
course. Yeah, a lot of people I have a little Buc-ee, what do you call it? Like slap band?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have a Buc-ee on it, and people be like, oh my gosh, where did you get it? Like, even Jasmine in the Epcot was asking me, what creature do you have here? I'm like, well, it's a Buc-ee. And she was like, oh my goodness. Like, oh yeah, I know, right? Yeah. So everybody loved Buc-ee.
Yeah, we'll have to compare Buc-ee's merch because I've got some, and every time I wear my shirts, everyone's like, oh, Buc-ee's, I love your shirts.
See?
I was at a Buc-ee's in Georgia
Oh yeah,
last week.
nice.
That was weird.
Where's my magnet from Georgia Buc-ee's?
They didn't have magnets.
They
He's
They
mailing
do.
it. He's mailing it to you. He wanted
I left it
to
at
Waiting.
home.
do first class delivery.
waiting.
Anyway, so Oviedo. Mm-hmm. Oviedo is high up on the list of towns in Central Florida that have way more vowels than consonants. That's the only thing I know about Oviedo.
I didn't know that, but now I know.
That's true.
Ocoee is the highest on that list.
Ocoee.
But Oviedo is up
yeah.
there because there's just a lot of vowels. But that's about all I know about Oviedo, other than the fact that you live there and I went to your house once.
Yeah.
Apparently there's a mall in Oviedo called the Oviedo Mall.
Yeah.
Is that a good mall?
No.
No?
No.
It used to be cool. So
used-
I lived there when I was a kid, and that was like the early 2000s, and it was. I remember thinking it was really cool, but
It was, right?
I think it's gone the way that most malls have gone, where people just kind of buy online now. But it's a cool spot, and a lot of people move to Oviedo that are my buyers because they want to be in A-rated school districts.
Yeah, that's
So Oviedo is kind of known for having some of the highest concentration of A-rated schools in
Okay.
the Central Florida area. Yep.
because it's Seminole County, not the Orange.
Right.
It's not orange.
So Seminole County is like slightly higher than Orange County School.
Right.
So
Yep.
So that's, I mean, I would have not expected that.
Yeah.
That's
Really?
interesting. Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't have any idea because I'm, over on the Winter Garden side and I
Right.
was looking at all that stuff. So, but I that's good. That's cool. Didn't know that. We'll have to talk more about school districts in an upcoming show.
Yeah. What do you like about living there in Oviedo?
oh my gosh, let me talk about it. Why I like Oviedo. Oviedo is the best Asian food town in Central Florida, in my opinion.
I love hearing that. I'm gonna need a list after the show because
So-
I'm gonna make sure I go.
And like a lot of people think like Mills have good food.
Yeah.
I mean, it is true, but I don't know why those Mills Asian food doesn't hit me right way.
I think maybe is it because it's more fusion? Is that it?
I don't know. It's kind of, I feel like it's overrated.
Yep.
And more pricier.
Yep.
And more busier.
Yep.
I don't like those.
That's my gripe with it too. Yep.
See? But like Oviedo, nobody expect like they're going to have nice Asian food.
I didn't know that either. Yeah.
Right? So like,
I would
right?
have not expected that either. In fact, I have very low expectations for Oviedo in general.
That's
So all
the
of
thing.
this is news to me.
I think
and
you'll
it's very
be
exciting.
pleasantly surprised with Oviedo. Yeah.
Yeah, Oviedo is like hidden gem in Central Florida for
Yeah.
right now.
It's also higher end too. Like houses kind of start around
Fancy.
600,000. Yeah.
Oh, so it's expensive too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like gated community. A lot of gated communities there now.
So it's a lot like Winter Garden.
Yeah.
A
Similar
hamlet.
It's got a similar vibe where it's kind of like more family focused, schools,
Cool.
nicer neighborhoods. Yep.
So if you want like the Hamlin Winter Garden of the Northeast, Oviedo
Close
is
to
it.
a Buc-ee's.
Closer to Buc-ee's.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, it's close to the beach, and I think Oviedo have a nice aquatic center that is made by the states, county. Yeah, like they have public ones,
Okay.
and it's really nice. They have a little like slide and stuff for the kids.
Cool.
They have a nice one out there. And go back to my food section. There is like nice Korean food called kimchi.
Yeah.
They are the best Korean restaurant I can find in Orlando. And ramen place, there's two now. One is Ramen Takagi. They win the Ramen Rumble this year. They are on point.
Wait,
Ramen
there's a
Takagi.
ramen rumble.
Yeah, every year at the Morimoto.
There's a ramen rumble.
I'm glad this is getting recorded because I'm going to watch it back and make sure I eat at these
Yeah.
restaurants.
The ramen rumble.
Ramen Rumble.
And it's a contest.
Contest every year at the Morimoto. And like
Okay.
it's funny, like all the Susuru's chef
Yeah.
and like other ramen chef comes in and they
They
battle.
make ramen. Huh.
And then this year the Ramen Takagi win.
Who's the judge?
I think it's the guest, I guess, because you can buy the tickets to go.
Oh yeah.
Well, I never been, but
Okay.
yeah. So the Ramen Takagi is in Oviedo too, and now they open up the Jinya, not the Domu, but Jinya's open now, and Oviedo's, and they're good too.
Yeah, they've got a location downtown, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
been-
by the Lake Eola.
Yeah, I'm actually going there tonight.
Oh. I mean, if they have a long way, go to Oviedo.
I know, yeah.
And then
Good to
now,
know.
oh, sorry, but yeah, now there's like a lot of different like bubble tea places all over. I think it's more like for the student, in my opinion, because in the UCF is kind of closer.
So that
And
was
lot
a
of people,
question that I was
goes
thinking
up
of.
there.
Is how much like is Oviedo sort of like a college town or no?
It's to me, it's more like family town, but like some of the housing is in Oviedo too, like student housing are in
Okay.
Oviedo.
Yeah, like the south side of Oviedo is geared towards UCF, but like if you think of Oviedo, I think of families,
Yeah,
single
more
family
family,
homes.
yeah.
Okay, so there's a section that's like students, but not not all of it.
Yeah, it just bleeds into that area.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
like few of them are still in there, but more likely like family in my opinion. And it's nice and not like busy or like loud like in Orlando. Like Orlando's crazy to me.
Yeah.
I mean, Oviedo is more quiet. I can see deers and the rabbit hopping around. So
Yeah. How about armadillos?
I haven't seen armadillo for like a couple
I
years
saw
now.
one yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah,
I haven't
but only
seen it.
one.
I saw armadillo a lot in Winter Park, not in
Yeah.
Oviedo. I don't know. They don't like water, maybe.
Maybe they just like Winter Park. Maybe they're fancy armadillos.
I guess I'm not fancy.
Oviedo's not fancy. enough for
Oviedo's
them.
fancy though.
I hope
If you were gonna have fancy armadillos, they would be in Oviedo too.
No, Oviedo started to changing a lot like last couple of years. It used to be like old 90s, 80s house that got built in like how many years ago? 40 years
30,
ago,
yeah,
30, 40 years ago. But now they have more like gated community. I think they
Toll
build
Brothers,
it more. Yeah.
Toll Brothers builds a lot in there. Higher end builders are
Yeah,
building
Toll
in there.
Brothers is expensive.
Yep. So
Yeah.
there's some really high end. I mean, there's some neighborhoods that start at $1 million and up in Oviedo. Yeah.
Wow. But yeah, I love Oviedo because, not so many people goes to Target, Dollar Tree, those popular stores in Orlando. But like Oviedo, I guess nobody goes. So like whatever I couldn't find in other stores, I can still find in Oviedo. I'm like, okay, it's still here. That's my Oviedo.
So you're staying put. You're not going anywhere.
I'm definitely not.
That's good to hear, though. That's
It's like even 45 minutes commute every day. I still love Oviedo because, I mean, like I said, the food is really important to me. And, I can get whatever I want from
Yeah.
there. And it's not overpriced or like it's packed. So, I'd rather be there and then drive 45 minutes and go back.
yeah. So you can work, be here in Orlando and Disney, and then have some more peace of mind
Yeah.
once you're home. Yep. I totally get that.
Yep.
So restaurant scene in Oviedo is where it's at.
Yeah.
We should-
that's-
I didn't know that either.
I didn't know that. We should take a field trip.
Yeah.
Welcome to my world.
I will be at that ramen restaurant.
Please go.
I will.
Yeah. I'm
sure.
surprised that, I would never expect that I will have a lot of nice Asian food in Oviedo when I moved there.
Yeah.
Because, because I moved down here about over 10 years ago. And when I got here, there was like there's none. Like there's nothing here. Like I say like, oh, it's a great Asian food. There's nothing. But then like year goes by, they started to have more decent and great food in Oviedo somehow. Not in Mills or not in the West Colonial.
Yeah, that's the only area I know that has like a
Yeah.
lot of Asian restaurants.
Kind of weird, but like, oh my goodness, this is another reason why I'm staying here. So
Cool. That's great
That's
to hear.
cool.
I love
Yeah.
that.
So you moved to Oviedo 10 years ago?
well, Oviedo 10 years ago, but when I first moved down here, I lived in Winter Park
Oh, okay.
because I went to Full Sail.
Right.
Yeah, Full Sail, I know. But I went to Full Sail, and I was living like 5 minutes away from Full Sail.
Okay.
And I moved up a little.
Up a little.
Yeah.
So Winter Park is a little. I mean, Winter Park is more downtown Orlando, much closer to downtown Orlando.
But Winter Park is big still.
It is.
Like
it's
they
a
have a nice, fancy Winter Park neighborhood,
And downtown.
and then have a
But they-
downtown Winter
they-
Park,
they
and
have-
then like
they have a
student housing.
train
kinda.
station.
They
Yeah.
do.
They have a big Bright Line train station
Mm-hmm.
right in the downtown. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the Sunrail.
Yes.
Yep, right there. Yep, I've taken that a few times. It's pretty cool.
Yeah?
Yep. It's a nice experience. I hope that we have that for tourists in the future, that they can just hop on the train from the airport and go
Right.
to Disney.
That would be handy.
My fingers are crossed, have been crossed for years
That
for
would
that.
that would be super handy.
How far they made it? I know Winter Park to like somewhere in Kissimmee. The train goes.
It goes
It
down.
ends at Point Siena.
Oh.
So that's where I used to live. So I know. so I knew.
Louisiana.
So I know where it ends, and I think it ends on the north side in DeBerry. So it goes all the way north and south through Central Florida.
Wow.
But not many people
But-
know about it.
But not Disney.
Yeah, we need it to go to Disney. So hopefully.
DeBerry.
Hopefully.
Is DeBerry near DeLand?
It is. If you zoom in, it should pop in. It might end in DeLand. I might have been.
Oh, there's DeBerry.
Yep. I think it ends in DeLand, actually. The furthest one.
Who will go to DeLand? Not me.
Yeah, people that want affordable homes, you know, that
Right,
they want a little
yeah.
more slow pace of life, maybe slower than Oviedo.
Guarantee. I think
Yeah.
the land is like more countryside in my opinion,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, very much so.
I mean, sometimes I take a back way to go to the beach, like NSB or somewhere that way. There's more like trees and forest in Oviedo still,
Yeah.
and people are still building a house.
Yeah, there's still a lot of country and a lot of land here in Central Florida. I mean, the Orlando proper area has definitely been built up and developed, but
It's amazing how you can
there's still
just
so much
drive
more land.
around. Like you can drive through Windermere and there's fields with cows in them. Mm-hmm. Like right across the street from Windermere High School.
Yep.
It's really, really shocking how there's so much undeveloped land.
because that's what the area was known for before
Right.
Disney was just cattle and citrus.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of cows, do you know the chickens in Oviedo?
There's
Yes.
chickens?
Yep.
Like wild chickens?
So there's a wild chicken that there is a Popeye in Oviedo. Used to
Oh,
be
fried
in the
chicken.
downtown Oviedo,
Okay.
and this chicken lives there and walking
at
around.
Popeyes.
But yeah,
Oh, that's full
It's
circle.
like the mascot.
That's a full
Maybe.
circle experience
Right?
right there. But yeah, it's like in
Right.
Tampa, they've got the roosters in Ybor City, and there's roosters and chickens in Oviedo too. Yeah, I've
Yep.
seen them.
yeah, and then those chickens are not nice. They think they own the like place.
Well, they probably are upset that you're eating their friends at Popeyes.
Everybody's due at this point. But
Yeah.
yeah, like the chicken wanted to cross the car in front of me, and the car tried to move, but chicken's like looking at you like, I'm not moving. I'm
I
like,
mean,
"Oh."
so in Winter Garden and Windermere, we have sandhill cranes.
Oh yeah, those are
We
everywhere.
have that
Right?
in Oviedo
Yeah.
too.
But
Yeah,
they
those
like
are
to walk
everywhere.
in the road. The difference between sandhill cranes and chickens is that it's illegal
Yeah, they're
to pester the sandhill crane. So like the chicken, you could get out and shoo it away.
Whoa.
But you can't do that with a sandhill crane because it's illegal.
Now I remember when I had to pick up my friends from a student housing.
Yeah.
There's this cranes that
Yeah.
passing by, and I took picture and tell my friends, sorry, I'll be late because this crane doesn't move.
It's in
Yeah,
the,
they
in the
won't
middle
Now I
of the road.
remember.
They
yeah.
know they're protected, and they just walk in front of the road like.
They own the place.
They definitely do.
I think if the sandhill cranes and the chickens had it out,
You know,
the chickens would not win.
like if I die, I was gonna be a duck at Disney, but I
Yeah.
might be the crane in Oviedo
crane.
in the future.
Yeah,
Oh.
better food.
Better. They might gonna have.
There
Yeah.
you go. What else do you like about Oviedo besides the food and like the
What
quiet?
I like I said, it's really quiet, not crazy. I don't see much guns and stuff here, you know, like in Oviedo. I don't see any shooting happening and like nothing crazy outrage happening. I don't see that. Because I used to live in Millennia at some point. I had an apartment in Millennia for like a year. And then
Oh.
every night there's like, boom, boom, boom. I'm like, here we go.
Yeah, that's a really
Like,
busy area.
Yeah, like crazy stuff was happening. So compared to that, Oviedo is like nice and quiet. It's more like neighbors to neighbors. I can just go to the cross the street and be like, hey, can you take me to the airport? And they will do that. It's like old Oviedo, like old America still kind of. I mean, what I'm saying, old America. I was not even born here, but
We were following you, though. We were trying our best.
So in your mind of old America, you could get strangers to take you to the airport, and that's still the case in Oviedo, but nowhere else.
Oh, this is killing me.
but yeah, that's how I feel. Like people still nice to each other, and like pretty much like knock the door, can I borrow an egg kind of situation
Yeah.
still exists. So
Yeah.
you know, Oviedo's nice and peaceful. I don't think I get it at the Millennium. Millennium be like, what are you doing? And my door like, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but
yeah.
The millennium is kind of a nightmare.
it was a nightmare.
It's still a nightmare. So you have a Costco up in
Yeah, Winter Park by Full Sail.
Winter Park.
Yeah,
That's right.
Full Sail.
So
We need a series on Costco.
So on the
for
last
you,
episode,
Jason.
the last episode we talked about Costco because the only one in like the whole southern half of Orlando was in Millennia,
No, now you guys haven't.
Now we have one over in Claremont.
Claremont,
yeah.
Yeah, I know. But you never even had the problem. You never had to
No,
go
I
to
never.
Costco in Millennia because you've got one
Winter
up in
Park.
Winter Park. And then there's another one.
Castleberry.
Castleberry.
Yes.
Yeah. So for some reason, like north of Orlando had two.
Yeah.
And then all of the rest of the south of Orlando only had the one in Millennia.
And now Daytona's getting one by the
yeah?
Speedway.
Oh, that's cool. So you can go to Buc-ee's and Costco.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you got options.
I have
Yeah.
no. See, Oviedo's a great location.
She's selling
It is.
Yeah, I'm trying selling it to everybody.
You need to get your real estate license.
Oh, maybe. Before that, I need to buy my house.
Yeah.
Buying a house is a lot of harder than before.
You know who makes it real easy to buy a house?
Eric Gross.
Eric
at
Gross
Magical
of
Moves.
magicalmoves.com. In fact, maybe you should talk to him about buying a house.
Right.
And
Yeah.
he could make it a lot easier for you.
I'm
That
hoping
would
that
be
happens.
amazing.
I got you. It's what I do for a living.
But yeah, I don't. See, this is another thing I need to tell people. A lot of people think Castleberry and Altamont is another hot area because it's close to the I-4.
Mm-hmm.
But then, if I-4 is meh, what are you gonna do? You stuck on the I-4.
Yeah.
But Oviedo, we have more options. We can just take another highway
Take
and
the
get out.
417, yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
toll roads, everyone, we kind of talk about it on these episodes all the time, how we actually like toll roads because they're usually a little bit better
Way-
than like I-4.
They're almost always a significant amount
Yeah.
better than I-4.
Yep.
Yeah,
And then now the tolls kind of pay you back like 50% of whatever you use
they
every
do.
month.
If
Yeah.
if you're
So-
a Florida resident, yep.
Yeah, I am getting a lot of money back every
Yeah.
month. Because I take 417, 48, and I-4. That's my road to get here.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's usually like $3.86, about $4 one way. So $8 Bulls round trip.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm getting half every month. I
Yeah.
think is that every month, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
So yeah.
that's significant.
So the other thing that now that we've discussed Oviedo and the proper pronunciation, we should look at some other towns around here and figure out what is the proper pronunciation. Now you know, Eric, most of the
Oh,
proper
I got you.
pronunciations,
Yeah.
right?
Oh.
So how about like Alafaya?
Alafaya, yep.
Alafaya?
It's Alafaya, yeah.
All right. And then another good one that I like is what is this? Wakiwa Springs?
Wakaiba.
Wakaiba, yeah.
Wakaiva?
And it's pronounced with a V, yep.
Yeah, it's
Wakaiva.
Wakaiba, yeah.
So Wakaiva
Wakaiba Springs is really cool too. If you want a
Hmm.
day trip in like natural Florida,
Yeah.
the springs there are incredible.
It's not that far, actually.
Do they
it
have
looks like it's
manatees
far,
there?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think, yeah, because I don't think
Not
they make
cold
it that,
enough.
Yeah,
My
I don't
wife
think they
went
make
somewhere
it that.
the other day to see manatees.
I went to swim with manatee last year. Is that last year?
Where?
In some spring on the top, on the north.
I know they're in Blue Springs.
Blue Springs,
They might
yeah.
make it to Wakaiva. I could be
Yeah.
wrong about that, but
Okay.
I've always gone to Blue Springs or
I
Homosassa
swam
Springs.
with them. I
The
loved
whole,
it. Yeah.
the whole kind of north central Florida and west central Florida. So Wakaiva, and then if you zoom out even further to like Blue Springs, I know this is off topic, but Blue Springs and Homosassa Springs, where Crystal River is.
Oh, Crystal River.
Yeah, there's tons of manatees over
Yes.
there.
I love manatees.
Yeah. Did you feed them? Just swim with them.
Well, I swam with them, and then one of the manatee pooped on my face.
On your what?
Yeah,
He pooped where?
pooped on my face.
On your face?
Yeah, he was swimming in front of me, and I started to poop. I'm like, yeah.
I was really hoping it wasn't your face.
It was me in my face.
It was my face.
So let me ask, would you swim with the manatees again?
I would, yeah.
They're
They
so
are
love the
cool.
playful.
Yeah, you have to. They're
They
so
are
cool.
so playful, and they are nice. Well, not nice, but nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
He
not
didn't mean to
nice,
poop
but-
on your face,
Yeah, I mean,
but-
he didn't expect me to be behind, but
Right.
it's
He's
fun.
like,
It's fun. Really
Look
fun.
out below.
Too late. Yeah.
We're so far off topic,
We
but I
sure
love
are.
it. But I love it.
Sure are. All right. So any last thoughts about Oviedo
Any last thought?
before we close out this episode? So a lot of the places that we've talked about on the episodes previously have been south and west, and Oviedo is really the first time we've gone north or east of Orlando. And it sounds like Oviedo's a great place.
I know I always talk about trails, but it's because I do them a lot. There's the Seminole Trail there, which is really cool.
Seminole Trail.
I think it's like over 10 miles, and you can bike, and it's pretty cool.
Where
Cool.
is Seminole Trail?
It's in somewhere over here.
I'm sure if you typed it in, we could find it. I don't know if I can find it just on the map, but yeah, it's a pretty cool trail I've done a few times.
Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino.
That's Miami.
Yeah, that's not here.
No, that's Tampa, actually. Seminole Trail.
I haven't seen.
Cross Seminole Trail.
Yeah, the Cross Seminole Trail. That's what it's called.
Oh.
So there
Yep.
is that Florida Natural Scenic
Yep,
Trail.
and it combines with there's a huge trail network here in
Oh,
Florida.
okay. So yeah.
But yeah, it's a
So
nice
it's
trail.
Oh, by
Yeah.
North Central
Oh.
Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
So that-
towards like the downtown
Right,
area.
right,
Yep,
right.
right
Where the
into
chicken
downtown.
lives.
Yep, right by
Right
the chicken.
from-
Yep,
Oh,
that's where
there,
chicken
and-
lives.
Up there and then over.
I mean, it's definitely a great place to like raise a family, and still able to go Disney. And I mean, just the issue is buying a house over there is more expensive than before.
Yeah, I think if you want like a quieter experience and have like 600 or 700 minimum, that's a good option.
Yeah. What would you say, like, because we talked about Claremont on our last episode. I get the feel that Claremont and Oviedo are fairly different, but there seems to be a lot of similarities too.
I don't think Oviedo has as strong of a downtown as Winter Garden. Winter Garden excels at that. Like they're number one for suburbs with like a really cool downtown experience. And I'd say Oviedo maybe isn't as scenic as Winter Garden,
Okay.
but it's still really pretty.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think it's ugly by any means.
I
but-
mean, there aren't a lot of lakes, which is
Right.
what I'm looking at the map here,
Right.
right? Like there's very few lakes around Oviedo versus some of these places that we've talked about.
yeah,
in
it's
the
a little
past.
bit more flat, like what you would expect in the rest of Orlando, which is kind of the opposite of Winter Garden and Claremont. But it's still a really pretty area.
I mean, if you compare it to Claremont and Oviedo, I feel like Claremont is more like old elderly people living.
Yeah.
I feel. I don't know. That's
It does,
how
yeah.
I
Back in the
feel,
90s
right?
and 2000s, there
Yeah,
was a
it
lot of
was.
retirement.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Oviedo's like more little younger generation family, maybe like mid 30, 40-year-old kind of family raising
Okay.
like range are living there.
To me, the feel I get is that Claremont's more like country like, and Oviedo's more city. Little
Yeah.
more
Still,
city-like.
yeah.
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 It's got a little bit of country
Yeah,
vibe.
still I can feel the country, but because if you go to the little like forest side, you can see
Right.
like president flag and
Yeah.
those kinds still exist. So I can still see it, but it's not like everywhere. It's more like if you go in the backwoods, I'm like, okay,
No.
kinda, yeah.
So last thing before we close out this episode, back in our pronunciation thing, here southeast of Oviedo is Chuluota.
Chuluota.
Churota, yeah.
Chuluota.
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 Churota.
Have you ever gone there?
Churota, yeah, I've been driving there.
Yeah.
Churota. Churota, yeah.
Chuluota.
Yeah, it's really countryside.
That's countryside.
Yeah,
Okay.
we actually drive through there if I take the back way to go to the beach. I think that's where the Churota is, yeah.
I mean, if you're going to go down towards,
Yeah, pretty much everywhere where it's green right there is
Yeah.
country. Like Christmas,
Yeah.
Florida. Yeah, that's where-
Christmas, Florida is
Florida.
really...
super country.
It's more like RV, I mean, what do you call it? It's a RV, right?
RV park?
like,
Yeah.
parks
Yeah.
all over. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see Mom and Pop's pub on the corner.
yeah.
Yeah. And the closed gas station. And, yeah.
All right.
It's a crazy place.
Well, Nana, thank you for joining us for this episode of Magical Moves and talking about Oviedo, which sounds like you love living there.
I love Oviedo. Hey.
That's great. And so, Al, if you're interested in learning more about Oviedo or any other town around Orlando, looking for houses, thinking about moving here, reach out to Eric at magicalmoves.com.
Yep, that's me.
He will help you out. He knows how to pronounce all these things. So the best thing is if you don't know how to pronounce them, to send him an email
Wow.
and tell him what you're interested in. and then when you talk to him on the phone, he can read it, and then you'll learn how to pronounce it from him.
I'll even give you one tip. Kissimmee is pronounced not Kissimmee, but Kissimmee.
Kissimmee, yeah.
Yes.
But thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank
thank
you. Thanks, Nana, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.
Bye-bye.